Celtic will look to go a step closer to retaining their Scottish League Cup trophy, when they take on Hibernian in the semi-finals of the competition, on Saturday, at the Hampden Park. The Hoops have been pretty much unstoppable in the domestic competitions this term again and have carried from where they left off last time around. They are now unbeaten in a whopping 59 games across all domestic competitions, and manager Brendan Rodgers will be hoping to make it 60 when they face the Hibs on Saturday. The current holders of the trophy come into the game on the back of a 30 loss at the hands of Bayern Munich in the UEFA Champions League, but they are expected to make it to the finals and should get past the Hibs without much of a trouble. Team News: Jose Simunovic is likely to be unavailable after missing out the midweek game against Bayern, while his partner Eric Sviatchenko is also likely to remain out, despite having returned to training recently. Anthony Ralston is also a doubt. Here's how Celtic might take the pitch at the Hampden Park on Saturday. Manager Brendan Rodgers' formation: 4,231 Doris de Vries GK. The Dutchman was given a rare run out last weekend against Dundee and he was very impressive. Might get a start ahead of Craig Gordon on Saturday. Having featured as a centre-half against the German champions in the midweek, the Swedish defender could return to his more natural right-back position on Saturday. Mikael Lustig. Dedrick Boyata CB has been an ever-present in the Celtic backline since his return from injury last month, and that is unlikely to change against the Hibs. Nibitan CB. Israeli international has fared decently in a makeshift centre-half role this term. Rodgers might call upon him for Saturday's game, in place of Mikael Lustig. Kieran Tierney. Another permanent fixture in the defensive line for the boys. The 20-year-old Scotland international is set to start at left-back. Kieran Tierney. Scott Brown CM. The captain may have recently returned from an injury, but is by far the most influential player on the field for the boys. Needs to start if HES fit and available. Olivier Ntcam CM. The former Manchester City man scored the only goal over the weekend against Dundee, and has formed a decent partnership with Brown. Should keep his place in the lineup. Patrick Roberts RW. The English youngster has been one of Celtic's brightest players in the attack since joining on his second loan spell. Likely to keep his place in the lineup ahead of James Forrest. Moussa Dembele. Tom Rogic. The Australian midfielder might get a look in for Saturday's clash against Hibernian, in the number 10 role, with Stuart Armstrong making way. Scott Sinclair LW on the left flank. We could see Scott Sinclair continuing to feature from the get-go. The Englishman has scored 10 times already this term and will be keen on adding more to his tally. Moussa Dembele. The Frenchman hasn't been able to hit the ground running after his return from injury, but Rodgers might look to hand him a start ahead of Lee Griffiths for Saturday's cup game.